Hello everyone, my name is Michael and my metric number is 298246. Today, our group will explore a topic called the relationship between happiness index and economic performance. In recent years, the concept of happiness has received increasing attention as a measure of social progress with a scope far beyond traditional economic indicators. The happiness index is a comprehensive survey tool used to assess human happiness and overall well-being. It provides a valuable insight into factors beyond material wealth such as work-life balance, social connection, and emotional satisfaction. In these studies, our group goals are to understand the trend in Malaysia, studying economic factors, and propose effective policies. First of all, by understanding the trends, we can analyze the pattern and fluctuations in happiness level and economic performance in Malaysia from 2015 to 2023. In this analysis, we will explore how the change in economic conditions affect the social well-being. Besides that, by studying economic factors, we will study how the economic indicators such as GDP, employment rate, inflation, income inequality, and so on that can affect the happiness levels. And finally, we will propose flexible strategy to improve individual and social happiness. Now, let our group members discuss this issue in depth. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lim Zing. Metric number is 298238. Today, I'm here to present an analysis of Malaysia Happiness Index from 2015 to 2023. Let's take a closer look at the traits and key moments that shaped the Malaysia's happiness over the years. We began in 2015, where Malaysian Happiness Index stood at 5.77%. This indicates that the population happiness was at a moderate level. In 2016, we saw a slight increase to 6.01%, followed by another small rise to 6.08% in 2017. However, 2018 marked a peak in the happiness index at 6.32%. This was a year of improvement, driven by the faster economic growth and stronger social support systems. Malaysia experienced such positive changes that contributed to higher certification among the citizens. Moving into 2019, Malaysia Happiness Index dropped significantly to 5.34%. Its decline was mainly due to the political instability, with disagreement among politicians and worry about the future of the government. At the same time, rising living costs, particularly in big cities like Kuala Lumpur, situations like this cause the struggle for people to afford basic needs such as housing, food, and healthcare, contributed to an overall decline in happiness. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic further impacted Malaysia, resulting in 5.38%. This is because the government enforced strict lockdown, called MCO, to avoid virus spread. So many people lose their job and businesses shut down. People face financial struggle and mental health issues, and students had problems with online learning, especially without stable internet. The pandemic had a big impact on daily life, making many people unhappy. However, by 2021, Malaysia began to experience a slight recovery. The happiness index rose to 5.71%. This shows a return to some stability. Despite ongoing COVID-19 challenges, the recovery of the economy and society helped improve people's moods. Many felt a regained sense of stability, and many were hopeful for a brighter future. In 2022, Malaysia Happiness Index continued to rise, reaching 6.01%. Because Malaysia gradually reopened and life began to return to normal. With the economy reopening, businesses started recovering and social activities resumed. This feeling of normalcy and renewed optimism helped boost the happiness index. Unfortunately, in 2023, Malaysia Happiness Index fell again to 5.38%. This decline was due to several factors, including worries about the economy, political instability, and inflation. Even though The country reopened and started recovering in 2022. Many Malaysians still feel uncertain about the future, which led to a decrease in overall happiness.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I am Syahada Tika binti Muhammad Zamri. My matric number 298363. I will explain the economic growth in Malaysia from 2050 to 2023. By referring to the table on the side, we can categorize economic growth into 5 phases, which is strong performance, slowing momentum, pandemic contraction, recovery period, and renewed slowdown. The first phase of economic growth, which is strong performance, can be observed occurring from 2050 to 2017. From 2050 to 2017, Malaysian economy performed well. GDP growth grew by 5.0% in 2050, dipped slightly to 4.8% in 2016 due to the global uncertainty, and rebound to 5.8% in 2017. This recovery was driven by strong export, better global demand, and higher commodity price. Next, economic growth can be seen slowing down from 2018 to 2019. In 2018, growth slowed to 4.8%, mainly due to political change and fiscal challenge. By 2019, growth dropped further to 3.6%, affected by the US-China trade war and weaker domestic investment. Furthermore, we can see that economic growth entered the pandemic contraction phase in 2020. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic hit hard, causing the economy to shrink by negative 3.2%. Key sectors like tourism, manufacturing, and service were badly affected by lockdown and low global demand. After our country was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, we can see that economic growth was in the recovery phase from 2021 to 2022. Recovery began in 2021 with growth domestic growing at 3.5% as businesses reopened and government support kicked in. By 2022, growth surged to 7.4%, driven by pent-up demand and strong trade. Finally, we can see that economic growth experienced a slowdown again in 2023. However, in 2023, growth slowed to 2.9% due to global inflation, higher interest rate, and weaker demand. Structural challenges like low productivity and reliance on commodities also held back progress. By looking at the economic growth in Malaysia from 2050 until 2023, Malaysian economy has shown resilience, especially after the pandemic. But to keep growing, we need to diversify the economy, boost productivity, and reduce reliance on commodity. These changes are key to a stronger, more stable future. Okay, for this part, I will explain the relationship between happiness index and economic performance from 2050 to 2023. Let's start with the positive correlation between economic growth and happiness index in 2016 to 2019. During this time, Malaysian economy was doing well. Growth domestic grew steadily at 4.8% in 2016, 5.8% in 2017, and 4.8% in 2018. As the economy grew, people happiness also improved, reaching its highest point at 6.32 in 2018. What made this possible? First, I think it's because of the better living standard made life more comfortable. And second, after the 2018 general election, there was a wave of optimism across the country. Lastly, improved social service gave people more support. This period shows that when the economy is strong and people feel positive about the future, happiness naturally rises. Unfortunately, things started to slow down in 2019. GDP growth dropped to 3.6% and the happiness index fell to 4.34. Why this happened is because of the issue like political instability, inflation, and concerns about governance created uncertainty and stress for many people. Then came 2020, and we all know what happened. The COVID-19 pandemic hit. The economy shrank by negative 3.2% and happiness stayed low at 5.38. The pandemic brought job losses, mental health struggle, and made it harder to access essential service. It was a tough time for everyone, and it showed just how deeply crisis can affect people's happiness. After the pandemic, things started to improve. By 2022, GDP growth jumped to 7.4%, and the happiness index climbed back to 6.01. Businesses reopened, people got vaccinated, and there was a sense of hope as life started returning to normal. But by 2023, the momentum slowed again. GDP growth fell to 2.9%, and happiness dropped back to 5.38. Why this happened is because of the rising inflation, higher living costs, and global uncertainties continue to worry people. This tells us that while recovery is possible, unresolved challenges can still hold back overall happiness. To sum it up, there is a clear connection between economic growth and happiness. When the economy is strong and people's lives are improving, they feel happier. But when challenges like inflation, instability, or crises arise, happiness takes a hit. This shows that while economic growth is important, it's not everything. For people to be truly happy in the long run, we also need political stability, fair opportunity, and policy that take care of everyone's well-being.
Good day everyone, my name is Tan Hun Jie. My metric number is 298432. Today I will discuss about the three critical factors that significantly influencing the happiness indicate and economic performance. They are GDP per capita, employment, and inflation. These factors are essential indicators of a nation's economy and its people well-being. First factor is GDP per capita. GDP per capita refers to a country's standard of living and economic prosperity. Higher GDP per capita indicate well-developed infrastructure, advanced technology, and good healthcare service that would contribute to a nation's happiness. However, it does not take into account income inequality. If the wealth is distributed unevenly, many people will not benefit from economic growth. For example, Finland and Denmark consistently rank as the happiest country in the world, but the USA have a highest GDP per capita but a lower happiness of ranking. The second factor is employment. Employment is a condition of having a job or being employed. Higher employment rate increase productivity and boost household income, which will increase economic growth. It provides financial stability, a sense of purpose, and social connection that leads to a higher happiness. Nevertheless, employment rate do not reflect job quality because job certification is not included in employment rate. For example, Finland and Iceland are consistently ranked as the happiest country because of flexible working time and good work-life balance. The third factor is inflation. Inflation refers to the general price of goods and services increasing over a period. High inflation rate will reduce purchasing power and disposable income, which will lead to a happiness level decrease. For example, Venezuela have experienced hyperinflation, causing people to fail to meet their spending needs and lead to drop in happiness level. On the other hand, moderate inflation can benefit economic growth, investment, and spending by encourage people to spending and as business to expand.
Hello everyone, my name is Lok Jain, number metric 298202. Next, I would like to present the slide about policy recommendations. There are three types of policy that require government's attention, which are economic policy, employment and labor policies, and social policies. In economic policy, the government should regularly update minimum wage and support small and medium-sized enterprises. The main purpose of minimum wage is to ensure all workers have a basic standard of living, reduce poverty, and lower income equality among citizens. This will help to increase consumption and support economic development. This is also fair to set different wage levels based on the cost of living in each state. Listening to the perspective of businesses, workers, and economists can make the policies be more practical and beneficial for everyone. Why the government should support SMEs? Because they employ the majority of Malaysia's workforce. So, to help SMEs, the government can strengthen the technology transformation funds to boost productivity and manage rising labor costs. Additionally, the government can reduce barriers to international market by offering export subsidy, custom tax reduction, and support for market research. When the government supports SMEs, it will indirectly create more job opportunities and fosters a positive economic environment. Next, focusing on employment and labor policy may enhance employees' happiness. So the government should encourage the businesses to offer flexible working hours to meet employees' needs, particularly for women to balance their work and life. At the same time, The government established laws to define workers' rights and obligations. It will help to promote labor force participation and increase employees' productivity. To support workforce development, the government can also establish skill training and lifelong learning, supporting skill training with educational institutions to help workers adapt to market needs. Moreover, the government can also implement the lifelong learning initiative that offer flexible courses for employees to continue education while employed. Therefore, the employee will increase their confidence and stay competitive in the job market. Last but not least, social policy can enhance citizens' well-being through healthcare accessibility, housing affordability, and access to education. The government should increase funding for public hospitals, especially in rural areas. At the same time, they can also provide more public insurance subsidy for low-income families to help them access to private healthcare. Additionally, the government should promote more rent-to-own scheme to help low-income families secure stable housing. Meanwhile, introducing special loan schemes for first-time home buyers to ease entry into the housing market. Then, the government should invest more in rural schools to ease the financial burden on families with children. Besides that, the government can establish more free educational centers that offer skill training, language lessons, or other programs for citizens. This policy will improve citizens' quality of life and contribute to a significant raise in happiness.
In summary, the relationship between happiness index and economic performance is both important and inconsistent. This is because while economic growth as measured by indicators such as GDP have led to the higher level of happiness, but it does not ensure the social well-being. This inconsistency highlight that the economic performance and happiness level cannot be linked directly. Okay, now our group has analyzed a few identified key factors that influence happiness, such as inflation, income inequality, and unemployment. Okay, now we will use inflation as our example. When a high inflation, it will reduce the Malaysian citizen purchasing power and increase their financial stress. Okay, and this issue will finally leading to the lower happiness level between them. To address this challenge, our group have proposed 3 recommendation policy key. First is the economy policy. By raising the minimum wage to reduce poverty, inequality, and financial insecurity between Malaysian citizens. Next is the employment and the labor policies. This policy is to introduce flexible working hours and strengthen skill training program to improve working balance and career development. And next is the social policy. The social policy is to provide access to healthcare, affordable housing, and quality education to strengthen social security and well-being. Okay, ultimately, by achieving happiness requires a holistic approach. Economic performance alone is not enough to ensure social certifications. This policy must balance with the economic growth by social equality, political stability, and opportunity for individual well-being. By addressing these factors, Malaysia can pave the way for a social where economic progress and happiness can ensure a brighter and more suitable future for all citizens. Thank you.